Hello everyone, L of the night here. Hello, we're at again, yes we are. So, we're talking about censorship today, social media censorship, as well as a little bit of what I discussed in yesterday's video that someone brought to my attention regarding a part in the video that perhaps was censored. I don't know, but we will see. So, social media companies censoring information. Let's talk a bit about that. So, I'm sure most of us are aware, Facebook has done this, Twitter has done this, pretty much all social media companies do it. Because why censor something if it's not true? Okay? The thing is, Facebook has been caught many times censoring information. I remember seeing articles that have been shared that have like a little banner saying, this is incorrect, and they link to like a trusted fact checker, which is biased. These fact checkers are biased, like I think one's like Politico, and I forget some of the other ones, but they are biased. You know, you can say that they're not biased, but they are biased. They have a bias. They have an agenda which fits the Google narrative, which also blocks and censors information with their algorithm. YouTube is owned by Google, so you know that happened with YouTube as well. People get blocked on YouTube. I get blocked based on things that I say and then I talk about, because I talk about a subject matter that is not super controversial, but at the same time it's kind of on the edge. I don't go too deep into some of this stuff for good reason, because then I'll have my account banned. But other things with Facebook, you know, I've seen articles that people post and they won't post. They refuse to go through. And I remember looking it up one time because I think I may have encountered it myself, and it just won't go through. And apparently it's because it is censored, because Facebook has determined that website that I'm sharing, that someone is linking to, is fake news. So how do these social media companies come to the conclusion that something is fake news? Well, it all comes down to what the official narrative is. You can't question the official narrative, or you'll be labeled as fake news. What is the official narrative? Things that trusted news sources say, such as all the mainstream media, things that the CDC says, things that the FDA says, things that all these government entities say, which, as you know, all of these companies are biased and they are corrupt. When money is involved, you know there is corruption there. So with these companies and with these government organizations, I am always very skeptical of the information that they put out. I mean, I don't really trust anything coming out of the CDC for the most part. I mean, I do agree with, you know, perhaps some of the stuff that they post, like regarding like a cigarette smoke. I've seen that, like if you're smoking cigarettes causing cancer, this and that, but they just came out with it, you know, not that long ago, when people have known since long time ago that cigarettes were causing cancer, but they refuse to acknowledge that. So that's a lie. Again, lying by omission. They knew, but they post a different story online, and now they're coming out with it. So they do that with a lot of stuff as well, even presently with certain medications and this whole thing that's happening here. So that's what the official narrative is. And the social media companies, you question something, you post something that goes against what the mainstream narrative is, guess what? You are labeled as fake news. You won't be able to post it. You have your accounts and comments shadow banned. You won't be able to reach the audience that you once were. It's not because it's fake. It's because you are questioning the agenda. You are speaking up. You are waking up. You are thinking outside the box. Now, I'm all for, you know, blocking something if it is truly absolute hatefulness. In that, you know, I do believe everyone has the right to speak up and speak whatever their mind is, mind you, okay? But if you're posting something like death threats to someone, and you're saying, you know, being incredibly racist, and you're promoting this very negative idea, then that should not be permitted. Absolutely. That is hatefulness. That is hatefulness. That's different from being able to speak your mind. But if you're trying to give an accurate representation of something, and you're speaking up about something, and you're making your voice heard about a certain scenario, and you have all this evidence that supports your claim, and if you even have trusted sources that have done research into various fields and whatever, then you have every right to speak your mind. But YouTube doesn't allow this. YouTube doesn't like this. Facebook doesn't like this. Twitter, I feel as though is a bit more lenient, but still, they censor and block out stuff. That's why I use alternative platforms as well. I use Minds.com and then BitChute as well for my main contents, videos, and such. I don't use it for this, but this one will probably be good because we talk about more controversial stuff here now than we do over there. We really don't talk about controversial stuff over on Automessado anymore. But anyway, so my biggest question then is, why censor if it's not true? If something that someone is putting out is obviously not true, why block it out? Shouldn't the people be, smart enough to determine what is and what isn't true? Essentially what these social media companies are doing is they're calling you dumb. They're calling you stupid because you can't make up your own mind of what to believe. You have to be fed this lie that the mainstream media gives you. And if you don't believe that lie, if you question that lie, then you are a stupid person. That is essentially the idea that they do. They shame you. They shame you. So I would be labeled a stupid person, despite the fact that I am indeed not a stupid person. That's actually a funny statement to say, but yeah, I'm not a stupid person. Oh, my light turned off. Oh, my light turned off entirely. Well, you're going to have to deal with me in the dark now. So, yeah, it's just really interesting because people should be allowed to make up their own mind. And here's a perfect example that I always use. The earth being flat, okay? I don't personally believe that, but guess what? People have the right to speak up about this if they so desire. What is so bad about that? And here's the problem that I have. YouTube, last year, we talked about this, YouTube posted an update video saying that they were going to remove recommendations of videos and channels that promote the idea, that promote, what they said is that they're going to mislead people in harmful ways. Okay, that was their official quote. And some of the examples that Tom gave in that video was that one of them was the idea that the earth is flat. Now tell me how that can mislead people in harmful ways. I don't know anything about flat earth. I don't care to know anything about flat earth. It's not something that I'm personally interested in. But guess what? If I want to watch it, I should be allowed to get as much information as I possibly can on it because there should be no censorship there. But why would they block it out? Why would they block it out? How is this misleading people? How is this harming people in any sort of way? I understand it if people are given death threats in some of those videos, but at the same time, what is so bad about talking about something? If people are smart enough, they will make their own decisions, such as what I have, I have not looked at that information. I always look at the full picture and I look at both sides of the full picture to come to my conclusions. I don't just come to the conclusion based on one video that I watch, reading one article. No. I read that and I am skeptical right off the bat, even if it supports what my argument is. I research, and guess what? Sometimes when I do further investigation, I've realized that the site that I was reading, they over-exaggerated, even if it was in my favor. And I find it so much on the other side as well. They over-exaggerate. So if something is not true, why block it out? Because I feel as though a lot of the stuff that these companies block out is indeed factual information. They just don't want the people to wake up and realize this. And I feel as though this situation that's going on in the world right now, so many more people are waking up and realizing this. I'm hearing more conversations when I'm out and about, and I'm talking with more people. A few people, I just hear them as well. Kind of like, yeah, I don't know anyone who has this virus. I don't, it's all these ridiculous things. I don't know what's going on here. And more people are starting to, like, just yesterday, I saw a bunch of people protesting in different states. There was live video feeds online. I watched them, like, I'm just applauding them because they were standing up for what they believe in. Go right ahead. Go right ahead. That's amazing. because it is just crazy, because no one really knows what's going on here. There's something much more happening. So the moment you question that narrative, that's when things happen that they don't want you to find out. Apparently, even YouTube blocks content that if you talk about coronavirus and 5G together, blocked, removed. I've seen videos be removed. That's a topic that we can cover another time, but guess what? I'll get banned, so don't expect it. Not that I know much about it anyway, but still. It's just interesting, it really is. Now on to my own personal thing that happened here. Yesterday's video, that was a controversial video. We talked about dissociative identity disorder and Trisha Paytas and Dissociated and Team Pinata and this and that. But at 11 minutes in the video, and I'm not sure how many of you experienced this, someone sent me an email late last night, and I reviewed it, I responded, I investigated to see what was going on here. And I could replicate the issue. At about 11 minutes in the video, I began talking about, I'm going to say similar to what I said last time. I say the world's going to go dark. The world's going to, shut down. And then all the celebrities are going to be, all the celebrities are going to get caught. All these atrocious actions that they're doing, and all the pedophiles, they're going to be shut down. And when the internet goes down, and they say that there's going to be like a blackout on the internet, things are going to go down, and so don't be worried about that, because that's everything happening. Let's see if YouTube does the same thing here. I'm very curious. So what happened when I said that line, when I started to say those things at 11 minutes in the video yesterday? The video froze up, and then it gave an error warning that said there was like a problem watching this video or something. And the person who sent me the email, they had sent me an actual video of them experiencing this. They recorded their screen. They played up to that point, freezes. They hit the play button again, does it again. It just will not play past that point. So I go ahead and load up the video on my computer. There's no issue at that point. I went on my phone. That is where the issue is. It's only on the phone. It's not on the desktop for some reason. It's only on the phone. So I checked it on my phone, connected to Wi-Fi. I could replicate the issue. Every time I hit play, it would not work. I could skip past that part by like maybe 5 or 10 seconds, and then it worked. But it's just that small little part when I talk about the celebrities and the internet going dark and everything going dark, and people, these pedophiles getting caught and whatever. And I tested on my phone with Wi-Fi. I could replicate the issue. I disconnected from Wi-Fi, used my cell service, and it actually worked a little better. It still froze a little bit, but once I hit play again, it actually resumed. So I'm like, okay, let me connect to a VPN. I connected to a VPN that I have, and that actually worked a little better, but it still did it. So then I changed the quality of the video, because by default it was 480. Changed it to 720. And once I did that, at that moment when I started talking, it did not freeze up, but the video was starting to glitch out a bit. I could see like these strange things happening. And I'm just curious, because is that YouTube? Is that something that happened to the video when I uploaded it? Because I checked my raw video on my phone. There was nothing. There was nothing there at all. So I'm just really interested, because that was perfect timing for that. If it was a different time, I wouldn't have had a problem, but that timing of that was quite interesting. It really was. But anyway, let's see if it happens again here. I'm really curious to know. So let me know. So anyway, that's all there is to say about this today. Hope you all take care. I'll catch you tomorrow for another interesting topic. Gosh, we're just exploring all the controversial topics, aren't we? Yes, we are. Anyway, you take care now. I'll catch you later.